What's going on, guys? Haxa here with another episode of Skul the Hero Slayer, and today, I don't know what skulls I'm gonna take, but I got a comment recently that got me thinking. Someone said, like, I wish you would explain things more often, because, like, it can be hard to follow what's going on, and, I agree with that, but it's not something I want to do all the time, because, like, for, like, newer viewers, it would be good, but for, like, my core audience, I feel like they would get very tired very quickly of me just explaining everything all the time. But occasionally, I think it can be a good thing to do, so I think what I'm going to do this episode is try and explain my thought process at the important points. Because, there are, like, pivotal points in run building that, can fall through the cracks of understanding if people don't have the game knowledge that I have or some of my long-term viewers have. So I think that's a good idea to do for today. And the first decision we make on any run is our skulls, obviously. And in the beginning of a run, it's actually pretty important to have good swappers. So like a skull that has like a nice AoE swap whenever you swap to them is very valuable in the early game. That just deals damage. Skulls like Skul are pretty good at it. Frost is good. Hunter's good, which I'll actually probably take Hunter here. Minotaur is very good at it. Probably the best, actually. There's a lot of good options. Just think of any skull that when you swap, like Pikeman, for instance, like he just dashes forward and deals damage. That's very valuable in the early game. Excuse me. Since I said it, though, I think I'm going to take Minotaur here. Because I did say he's probably the best, and he is very, very good. So, and the other decision we make at the start of any run is items, and the choice is always, without question, one of the two Carleon, courage or wisdom items, depending on your character. We're gonna take the courage here today, and always medallion, because it earns you money on the way to the first shop. It gives you a treasure inscription, which is the most important inscription in Skul in terms of, consistency. So those are the two big decisions there. And now we're just off to the races. Something you will hear me talk about a lot at the start of runs is, are we going to be on a high door or low door count run? And what that means is the amount of doors you go into on any Skul seed is not consistent. There's like a high amount of doors you can go into, a low amount of doors you can go into, and in-betweens of those two. But you can always know if you're going to have a good amount of doors or a bad amount of doors based on how many rooms you go into before you get to the first shop. This only applies to the Dark Mirror, by the way. Normal mode, I'm pretty sure it does not apply to, so you can't use this methodology there. But if you go into 3 doors before you go to the first... If you go into 3 doors before you go to the first shop, that is a high or a low roll door run, and if you go into 4, it's a high roll door run. And we want high because you get more resources the more rooms you get to go into. Anyway, we're at our first decision here. This is the easy, consistent decision. This is the ballsy decision that has, like a high payment at the, or a high payment potential. I'm going with the ballsy decision because I can handle omens. If you're a new player, I would recommend staying away from most omens, if not all. There are some really, really powerful omens that arguably you can take if you're new, like the mutant omen, Idol of the Forgotten, I think that's what it's called, which is just OP. But even then, you're still taking on the burden of omens, and omens are scary. So just be smart with your decision making. If you think you can handle it, try it, because omens by and large are pretty strong. I should have went to the money room. I'm sure there was a money room as the other option, and I went to a Skul room. Usually in the early game, especially, I don't go into Skul rooms because you usually only get like a common. There we got a rare, so it paid out. But the smart decision when it comes to early game door choice is to avoid Skul rooms because 5 bone shards is not that valuable. This guy also, I usually don't free him and give him money, but it's early enough to where I don't think I'll lose anything if I do. So we're just going to give him money. Oh, I think this is the 3rd room. I'm pretty sure it is. I think we're on a high roll door run right now. Yeah, we are. Okay, yeah. This is a high roll door count run, which is nice. It's good for explaining, like if I'm doing an explanation heavy episode, this takes away some of the burden of run building. If you do get a low roll door count run, the best thing to do is, and really you should do this anyway usually, get treasure 4 as quickly as possible so you can supplement the resource loss with some extra resources. So something to remember. I bought that thing there that was, you know, a drug. I always call it purple flurp. It gives you faster swapping, and the more you swap, the stronger you are. So that's why I bought that. And there's Invisible Knife. So another thing to talk about in Skul is archetypes. There are different archetypes you can build your run around. That's what I call them, at least. It's you know, strategies to win, basically. And one of the strongest strategies in Skul, period, if not the strongest, and probably the strongest, is crit items. Items that activate whenever you deal a critical hit. This is one of the strongest items in Skul the Hero Slayer. As you see, I have 2 physical skulls. Doesn't matter, because item damage does not equal skull damage. There are different damage types in Skul, and they are not connected to each other. Like, you know, just because Invisible Knife deals magic damage doesn't mean that it's not going to be very, very strong on my run, because we don't need our skulls to deal item damage. Item damage is dealt by items and inscriptions. So, all that to say, don't feel beholden to, like, if you're playing physical skulls, you can only take physical damaging items and physical damage scaling. Magic damage, as long as you have the items for it on physical skulls, is, like, very, very powerful and worth building towards. Which this run, I'll probably try and do a mixed damage strategy. But these are, like, some of the biggest revelations I ever had in Skul that changed how I look at the game and, like, made my win consistency way higher. I mean, if you're even slightly familiar with my content, you already know how much I win my runs. I win most of them. And that's because of these things that I've realized over time. So, you know, not to toot my own horn, but a little beep beep. I'm pretty good at Skul. Here I'll take the money room instead of the Skul room, which is the correct decision in my opinion. Now, once we get out of Act 1, room prioritization for me changes completely. Like, only in Act 1 do I avoid Skul rooms. Outside of Act 1, it's all Skul rooms all the time whenever I see them. Because there is no more valuable currency, at least at DM10 in Skul, than bone shards. Even money pales in comparison. Alright. Also, a little min-max tip. I guess it's not a big deal. But, if you are aware of, like, a segment of the map where, like, if you don't go down there, enemies will spawn in, and you want to, like, do a little fight skip or something where you don't have to kill certain enemies, even though you don't get a ton of money for it, my recommendation is to, like, try and fight every enemy in a room if you think you can get away with it. Because even the little amounts of money you get from killing enemies is still extra money, and extra money is always going to be useful. Ooh, okay, that's pretty good, especially because we already have a crit item. Now here is my, this is my opinion, but here we have what is considered by most Skul players to be the best quint in the game. I hate this quint. I think it's extremely overrated, and I will never be taking it, pretty much ever. Maybe like if I'm on an Oko run where I'm trying to one-shot enemies, I'll take Orc, but like, I think Orc is just the most overrated quintessence. Everyone's so obsessed with it. I think Medusa is the best quint in the game, followed by like Succubus. Even Slime is a contender. We saw it earlier. It's like the little transformation quint. But I am no fan of Orc. I think Orc is so unbelievably overrated. I think the Skul community has a fixation of one-shotting enemies, or bosses, I should say. They love like killing a boss in one smack, and that's fine and good and fun, but what I care about is consistency. Like being able to win runs as much as possible, and Orc is just like a flashy death sentence if you ever mess up any of your movement ever with it. So that's how I see it. I will, until my dying breath, no more will I cower in fear of saying an opinion that is not considered popular in the Skul community. I think Orc is so unbelievably overrated. I wish people would move on from obsessing over it. But yeah, I mean, that's not really advice, I guess, you know, like, this is the advice heavy episode. If you want to play around with Orc, play around with Orc. It's just, I don't care for it, so. Like, if you're trying to build runs like me, Medusa all the way, just infinite Medusa value. Oh, here's a good, I'm glad he showed up here. That's the remaining one. He's a really useful NPC if you free him. He gives you a free skull with some bone shards. My advice to you, but he does take away some of your HP proportional to your current HP, not your total HP. He can never kill you, so don't ever be afraid that if you use the remaining one, you die. Maybe at 1 HP, but even then, I think he would just take 0. But point being is, I'm not going to free him here because his rewards scale to where you are in your run. So, like, we're in Act 1, Part 2. The odds of him giving me a common are pretty high. He might give me a rare, but he's probably not going to give me a unique, and he certainly won't give me a natural legendary. But if we find him later in the run, in Act 4 or something, the odds of him giving me a unique or even a nat legendary are way higher. So, like, he's one of the only NPCs that you absolutely should not free if you find him early. If I find him in Act 2, usually I'll free him, but if he's in Act 1, no. I'm leaving him in his cage. And there is, you know, a point to be made against that, because it's like, well, now you don't find the slime as easily. But, like, I care most, first and foremost, about bone shards. Item dupes are, like, secondary. I mean, item dupes, more than anything, are fun. You don't need to dupe an item to win a run. Obviously, you can get really, really strong dupes. Like, if we duped Invisible Knife, it would be insane. But, I'm first and foremost worried about just consistency, and getting my Arachna scaling all the way up is the most important thing to me as a player. And we can do that a lot easier with more bone shards from the remaining one. Yeah, we are absolutely killing this Yggdrasil before his Giga ult, as I always like to call it. Like, whenever you hear me talk about stuff like that, I'm just talking about his, like, ultimate move where he slams the balls at the ground or whatever. The spheres, to not sound weird. But, I'll also take the succubus. For me, it's like, I don't know, man. I just prefer to not have to watch that animation. Also, I had a thing recently where, I run where I was thinking about Spirit Negotiator and how I feel about it. I'm pretty negative on it, honestly. Like these days, I feel like I don't need it. There's easier ways, just with, like, treasure, to get enough money where, like, having something like this doesn't really matter too much. The problem with Spirit of Negotiator is, like, at some point on a run, ideally you sell this and get rid of it if you take it to begin with, and that takes a lot of money to do. So, like, I feel like you just lose out ultimately in the end. But this is the part of the run where I talk about dark abilities and curses. Any good skull run, especially the ones that I build, usually take Collection Desire, because it's just an extremely powerful means of damage scaling that really doesn't take anything from you as the player. You just have to have 2 of an Inscription and you get 25% increased damage, which is huge. Another thing you'll see me often take is Go-Getter, which is item damage amplification. And I guess this is where I can talk about increase versus amp. Increase is additive damage. Amplification is multiplicative damage. So, like, if you ever see the word amplify, like on the Courage inscription, that will multiply your damage by a certain value. And if you see increase, it will increase. And good skull runs are built off of both of these working together. So, like, we have this item right here, which increases 110 for each OMEN inscription. That's really good dense damage increase. And on top of that, we're going to want damage amplification. So we're multiplying our increase by the end. And a lot of the times, amp doesn't show up in your stats. Like, amp is mostly invisible. Only with courage and wisdom, I think, does amp show up. I think every other source of amp does not show up in your stats. Maybe there's, like, a niche one that I'm not thinking of. But, point being that, like, when it comes to damage increase in amp, curses and inscriptions are dark abilities are great ways to get there. A good skull run wants a really good curse amp and some damage increase too. And another thing you're going to see me do here is I'm going to take Last Resistance, which is like Death Defiance. and it prioritizes itself over reassembly, which is your most important death defiance. I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to lose it on purpose at the end of Act 2, ideally, because there are items that activate if you have died at least once, and they're very powerful items. Olive Tree Cudgel is one of those items, and I don't think I need to talk up Olive Tree Cudgel. The Wisdom and Courage Omens are items that get stronger if you've died at least once. I think that's everything. But those items just are strong enough in and of themselves to justify spending the 3 core quartz to like just get like last resistance, lose it on purpose, and now you have these items that will activate if you find them. So very, very, very much worth it, and especially since we already have the Boneman, I'm incentivized even further to take one of these like Wisdom or Courage Omens. Also, this is weird. I guess the doors are going to be on that back half of the fucking shop, which I hate, by the way. That's another thing that can happen with door variants in Skul is like the God, why can't I talk? The shops can be, or the door count can be on like the back end or front end of a shop, like the density. So we only went into 2 rooms there. We're probably going to go in quite a few rooms on the way out here to go to the adventures. And the reason that sucks is because like it makes your shop after the adventurers stronger, but if you're not confident in your run's ability to take out the adventurers, like the shop that you get to go to before you fight them is a lot worse. But thankfully our run's already strong enough to take out the adventurers pretty easily, so we're not really concerned about that. It's still annoying regardless, but it's not deadly annoying like it could be. We'll save our money here. We just got some gold percent gain. We're also at treasure 4 now. Gold percent gain is like one of the most valuable stats, and it's a pretty rare stat on items. There are, I think, let me think, 4 items that give you gold percent gain, which is like as you see here, increases gold gain by 15%. Golden Whip is one of them. It's the weakest one, but it's still good because it's gold percent gain. Gold Incense Burner, Stone Mask, and then there's the Sin Treasure item that gives you gold percent gain. So these are items to look out for, and you know, like I said, it's usually worth going on any run to have treasure for, at least for a little bit. Like on a high roll door count run, it's not as necessary to have treasure for, but like why not have it anyway, right? Like it's extra resources. It's just like one of the strongest inscriptions in the game. And another thing about treasure is if you're going to the Endgame gauntlet, treasure plus is a really, really, really strong enhanced inscription too. So like you really just can't go wrong with treasure. It's extremely good. Yeah, as you can see, we're like not having any issues even with Dark Elites. Like this run's very strong for this portion of the run. We don't have anything to worry about when it comes to the adventures. I'm also getting lucky with HP orbs. So even if we were struggling and I was worried, like we have plenty of HP. That's one of the reasons I love Hunter Swap. It's so easily able to deal with the enemies, large groups of enemies, I should say. Another thing I want to talk about a little bit is like how I prioritize doors after Act 1. I said it earlier, but it's like every single time if I'm offered a skull room, I'll take the skull room because bone shards are extremely important. After that, prioritize item rooms over money rooms because item rooms give you like, it's basically like a mini shop. So like that's just strong in and of itself. And last but not least, because they're still good, money rooms are the rooms you prioritize the least. Ooh, okay. So we were already building towards crit items, and now we have this, which is the other really, really good crit item. These are like sister items, basically. The main difference is this scales itself, like it gives physical damage scaling only to itself, but that's still really strong. And this item gives 10% crit rate, and it's debatable which of these two is stronger. Honestly, genuinely, probably is still Invisible Knife. That's just how obscenely, disgustingly powerful Invisible Knife is. That, like, the legendary version of Invisible Knife that deals physical damage still is not as strong as Invisible Knife is because of that crit rate it gives. That crit rate is just obscene. I know I got rid of the Thief Armor for the Crown of Thorns, but I'm already missing the Thief Armor. Thief Armor is an underrated crit item in my opinion. It doesn't get the love that the other crit items get. It's a really good one though. But yeah, that was a really nice and simple adventurer fight. We're just gonna upgrade our hunter here. When it comes to Skul upgrade priority, like, it's probably too complex of a topic to get into in a big way, because, like, you know, we only have the 2 skulls here, and you know, like, to go over which skulls you should prioritize upgrading over others, like, it would take a lot. It would take a long time to talk about every single instance and which ones you should upgrade over the others. But when it comes to these 2, I prioritize Hunter because when you get Hunter to unique, he gets the little traps that he places that are stun traps. It's makes his swap even stronger, and already the strongest thing about Hunter is his swap. So yeah. Also, we're gonna take this, get a little bit of a hell run going here. Why not? Be unsafe today on our run. But Branches of Destruction is a really, really interesting item. It's one of the strongest items in the game by the time you get to the end of your run. But early on in runs, it's actually a bit of a liability because you're taking the OMEN inscription for something that's not going to be paying off that much. But Branches of Destruction is an item that it doesn't tell you how much you need to do, but like the more damage you deal, this thing will grow above your head, and once you reach a certain damage dealt threshold, it will activate, and then when you cast your skill, the item will, like, you know, blow up or whatever. It's an ability spam item in disguise, and you need to deal 10,000 damage to activate it, which sounds like a lot, and it is in the early game, but by the time you get to the end game, you're dealing 10,000 damage, like, pretty much constantly. So, like, you can just activate Branches of Destruction over and over and over. But in the early game, most enemies don't have anything even approaching 10,000 HP. So, like as you see, we picked it up in that one room, like last room, or the room before that, I think, and we just now got it activated, which we can just go ahead and activate it here. And as you saw there, it dealt a lot of damage. And it also has the Execute inscription on it, which is a really good inscription, so there's really just no downside in the end game to having Branches of Destruction. And with the Boneman that we already have, like, it's just increasing our damage scaling. It's just a smart item to have. I think I'll get rid of my Courage and Wisdom items for now. Like, in the end game, we're going to want Courage and Wisdom, but we already have really good damage scaling right now. We don't need it. You can even get rid of this for potential Fulgent Dawn. And eventually we'll get rid of our Treasure 4. But for now, we want to keep it, which is like, why wouldn't I get rid of this? Some people might be thinking, exclusively because it has Treasure, and that's it. That's how powerful Treasure is. Ooh, let's go. And also, we don't have Mana Cycle. If I had Mana Cycle, I might replace this for that. But another thing is, this is going to be generating 30 gold per map, which is not a lot, but there's no real upside to having this item over it, unless I had Mana Cycle, which we don't, so. I'll do this, I guess. As you're seeing what I'm doing here, I saw a flask on the pedestal, and then you have the headless NPC up here. Sometimes he'll have, like, a higher value skull than what you get from a flask, and if you ever do that, you could just grab the flask skull and then swap it with that skull and get that bone shards from that, and just give him the lower value skull, which is something you'll see me do a lot. I do it probably at least once every episode, but it's a little min-max you can do. It's worth noting. When it comes to explanation heaviness, we're already past, like, the bulk of, like, the important stuff. Once I upgrade both of my skulls to legendary, we have to talk about Arachna scaling. That's a big thing. But, like, all of the major stuff that goes into skull run building, I've already covered. Now it's just about consistency and, like, playing the game correctly and not taking too much damage, which that's something you can only really get with experience. But I guess that's where watching me play the game comes in. Maybe you, like, pick up on some of the little things that I do, and hopefully you can incorporate it into your gameplay. Yeah, like moving forward, we're gonna be looking for like really good curses, and curses obviously come with downsides. So like if you're not a super confident player, it's basically like similar with omens. You should be careful about taking a curse. Like something like OCD, for instance, is like deadly if you don't know how to play around it. But it's a really, really, really strong amplifying curse. Which we'll talk more about that when we get to the place, the realm between, whatever the fuck it's called. I'm probably not going to be going Omen 3 on this run. I don't intend to take Mercury Hearts. So, though I guess I could. I hate Mercury Hearts. They're really strong. I just fucking hate them. Some of the ways you lose a Mercury Heart are like infuriating to me. With it, when it comes to the Leona sisters, and I guess I can do it here. I don't need to, but I'll just show you guys. And this is maybe not the best new player advice, but you'll hear me talk about it. I call it riding the merry-go-round. And basically what it is like, if you deal enough damage to the sister that you don't kill, which we nearly killed her, like leaving her at that amount of HP, if I kill the short hair sister first, the sister in phase 2 will revive with less HP. So like it can be worth your while to like just dodge the phase 1 sisters for a while. Like, and I can demonstrate it here because the long hair sister came down and she's the one that's about dead. Like, this is not something I would recommend to do if you're like new and you don't know how to dodge the Leona sisters as well as I do. Like, I could dodge the Leona sisters forever if I had to. Like, if someone had a gun to my head and I was locked in and like, you know, like fighting for my life, I think I could dodge the Leona sisters forever until the fucking heat death of the universe. Oh, she's gonna die here. Well, okay, I got to demonstrate the methodology anyway. But yeah, you gotta be careful about big aura attacks like Fulgent Dawn if you're trying to ride the merry-go-round and you like put one of the sisters at too low of HP value, because like they can just die to stuff like that. Another thing you gotta be careful about, thankfully we didn't upgrade our Minotaur here, but that attack in particular that I just dodged with Minotaur where I stood in between the pillars, hugely dangerous attack. It's like the reason I'm scared of this fight, that and this. Yeah, you gotta be fucking careful because, ooh, I got juggled. But, hang on, let me die real quick. I don't want to miss it. But, the wider your character is, like, the wider your hitbox literally is, and if you upgrade Minotaur to unique, he's fucking humongous. So, like, you have to stand pretty precisely in between those pillars to not get fucking destroyed. Even though I got juggled on my, hunter, which is like, he's tiny, so I guess I just fucked up. None of these items are particularly interesting to me. I'm just going to break this for the money. I love multi-dimensional prism, but I'm not building around it on this run, so we're not going to bother. And let's see if we get a good curse here. Oh, did we? Yeah, those are both really good. But I was going to talk a little bit here about what to do if you don't get a good curse, like what are some good alternatives that aren't curses. One of them is weakness exposure, which is a very powerful, especially if you're dealing rapid DPS. If you're not dealing rapid DPS, you should probably avoid weakness exposure. But weakness exposure is pretty good on most archetypes. So this is something you can turn to if you don't find a good curse, and you'll see me turn to it often. Another thing is predicted pain. Where is that? Here? Yeah, this is predicted pain. It's an amping thing that amps your skill damage in particular. It's fine. Like, if you don't get a good curse, you can just take something like this. A lot of people are happy with silent cries, where it like decreases your skill cooldown as you cast a different skill. I don't really take it that often, but it is technically damage increase because like you're dealing your skills more often. So like this can be an option for you. Soul Strike can be an option if you're not dealing rapid DPS and you just want to like deal more damage with a specific skill. none of these are ideal. Shorthand is also something you could take, which is like if an enemy is close to you, you can deal amped damage to it up to 30%. It gives you a little hitbox around yourself if you do take this to show you the range of the closest they need to be. I think shorthand's fine, but Hawkeye, which is like its distance compatriot, is terrible. Specifically because in the end game, when you're fighting like the gauntlet of bosses, they're all way too fast and want to kill you way too much, and they're always running up to you trying to kill you to consistently get this damage amp, like with them being away from you. Having a boss be close to you is easy. Having a boss be far from you is not. So shorthand is takeable. Hawkeye is not. But that doesn't matter to me because I got 2 really good curses here. We're going to be taking both of these. Ambition is probably one of the best curses in the game. Yoink. Supernatural, we don't have the best quint for this because it increases quint cooldown, which means the quint will not be activated as often. But whenever I do activate a quint, I get 40% amplification for 10 seconds. And also quints don't do damage anymore, but we don't particularly care about the damage that Succubus does. We care about the enchanting effect that makes us not take damage. So very takeable. And because we took Ambition and it's like a curse that wants you to have as much core quartz as possible, we're gonna take Go-Getter here. Or maybe I won't. Nah, I will. We're gonna take Go-Getter here, but we're only gonna level it up twice, so we keep as much core quartz as possible. I might end up selling Go-Getter if we get offered like a really good curse that's you know, like an amping curse later, because we want as much core quartz as we can have. So, but yeah, very, very, very lucky realm between there, you know, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We got lucky. Okay, I'm glad I came back here and checked, because I was about to awaken the Frieza, and yeah, we don't want to do that. Not while this guy's alive. Fighting a Frieza and Ultimate Golem at the same time does not sound ideal to me. When it comes to Friezas, I don't have a ton of advice for you. Sorry. He's a pain in the ass. He's always going to be a pain in the ass. You just gotta treat him with fucking respect. Basically, like one of the scariest enemies in the entire game. And there's no getting around that. He's a pain in the ass to even veteran players like me. None of that's useful to me. Harpy is great. She's going to give us some bone shards. Oh! Any damage I take is like horrible because we have Omen 2. Like, we are very, very frail. We don't want to be taking damages if we can avoid it. So, like, I don't even know what hit me there, and I took like what, 20 HP, dude. It's like insane. Yeah. All the... Ooh, yes. I'm going to be taking this. This is my favorite skull in the game. I love Ninja. Sorry, Minotaur, but, like, Ninja's here. It's over, bro. Like, I'm taking him. About the time where we could maybe think about ditching Treasure 4. Though I am behind in Bone Shard count, which is worth pointing out. I also don't like having, bone, too. Let me get rid of this. I am not enjoying... Ooh, but I want this. Okay, maybe I'll take this back. I'm thinking I want it. I'm thinking I want this, too. Yeah, I guess... Well, do I want to get rid of the gold percent gain? Yeah, I guess we have to. This is not going to be very good on Hunter. Do I still want it? It still gives dash damage regardless. I think we take it. It's getting a little crowded on this run, though. I guess I'll get rid of that. We can buy Courage on the pedestal. Yeah. Wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally get Courage 3. Don't forget to min-max, though. One thing you can do with gold percent gain, if you're ditching it and ditching other items at the same time, you pick it up and you break the item. You want the items that you're leaving on the ground with it in your inventory, which gives you the gold percent that you wouldn't have had without it, and then you can get rid of it after that. It's just a little min-max to make things a little easier for you. Another thing here, now that we have a different character, and I was talking about prioritization earlier, I think I'm going to prioritize my my ninja over my hunter, even though both of these are high priority characters for upgrading to legendary. But ninja is just, he's the guy. He is the absolute fucking G at legendary, and that's what we want. So I actually kind of wish I would have seen her at a time where I needed her, because this is a very dangerous run. But she showed up early, and we want to get her out of the pool so we have more chance to find the slime. So it's not the Giga Yaksha. Even if it was, I probably wouldn't take him, because I like the characters I have, especially with like double fucking Omen. Like we need to be mobile, and Yaksha is good, but he's not mobile. Also, I succubus thinking that it would deal damage. Gotta remember that it does not deal damage. Alright, we're off. Oh my god, I have bone. I fucking hate it. I am a spammer when it comes to like button pressing in pretty much every game I play. And that gets me into hot water in Skul sometimes. Also, there's our slime. The NPC we're looking for now are the remaining one and the Spokesman of the Mist. We've found most of the good NPCs though, which is nice. We're gonna maybe see about deleting some items. Okay, we didn't get the slime in an item room, which if you get the slime in an item room, it's way better for you, because you can juggle an item you don't want duped but still want to keep out of your inventory and then pick it up after. There are some disastrous dupes here. Like, I don't want one of the omens to get duped, but I still want to keep these omens because they're giving me stats. I think this is a full send and pray kind of situation. If we don't get a duped item here, like I said earlier, you don't need duped items to win runs. They're just fun. So let's see if we can have some fun here. That is worth taking. Yeah, I'll take that. Now I wish I did have Mercury Hearts, but I still fucking hate them, so I don't know. I don't regret it that much. But now we're getting Omega stats from our omens. One problem that we have currently is we have yeah, let me deal with this Frieza before I finish. We have Bone as our enhanced inscription, and Bone is not a particularly good enhanced inscription, but we just have Bone as like a byproduct of like having a bunch of Bone items that are really good. So what we're going to be wanting to do on this run is find another inscription to get to its benchmark, so we don't have to take Bone Plus, which is not going to be easy. I don't even know what we could take. Oh, why am I lagging? What the heck? Computer, you good? Oh, right. Ah! Almost died there. That would not have been good. Yeah, the ninja was not succubus, so that's what went wrong there. I think this is probably better. If we're just looking for consistency with our stat increase or stat amplification, then this is better than succubus, so we're just gonna take it. But the real gem that we're looking for is face bug. That's like the best thing to have with supernatural. There's also value to be had in like having a like Hydra, ironically, even though it's like a terrible... Ooh, that was bad. A terrible quintessence. It's like having like the stack effect of getting the amplification can be nice. Wisp. No, Wisp has a long cooldown. What am I thinking of? A Phantom. I don't know why I thought Wisp. Phantom's good. That's another one that you could take and be happy with. Oh, okay, there we go. Wait, but Manatech 3 is not that good either. But it's got to be better than having Bone Plus, I think. The main thing that we get from this is if we do take it, is the, for one, the max HP, which is pretty fucking useful on such a low max HP run. And it's only going to get worse as we start getting our ambition scaling. And we also get faster skill casting speed, which is nice. The only thing that can go here is the ring. It's like the only thing. Or this, I guess, could go. The ring's giving me max... Dude, oh my god, my max HP would fucking plummet. Let's just see what that looks like. I think we can probably get rid of this and be okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. The casting speed's nice. Oh, plate armor is grody. Yeah, I'm just going to treat this with respect. Alright, pretty scary stuff, but we're out. Excuse me. Like I said, skull rooms every time if we're offered them. Oh yeah, we also have our extra skills now. The thing that makes Ninja unique is like whenever he's in the air at Legendary, he gets extra skills. And with the Archetype ability spam items, which we have some of it incorporated into our build, shit is extremely fucking busted. And he's also a very good crit item user. I mean, Ninja just does everything. And he's also extremely fun, but also not very new player friendly. So if you're new, I would recommend getting better at the game before you play him, because his movement can be pretty complicated for a new player. Man, I really am hoping I get offered like Facebook or something. We'll just take the bone shards. There's not really too much more room for improvement for this run. Obviously, we'd like to have like Olive Tree Cudgel. That would go pretty hard, game. Just putting it out there. I'd love Olive Tree Cudgel, please. Oh yeah, also seed check. Now that I mentioned Olive Tree Cudgel, I could show. I remember to show the seed. It's like my my activation word. Alright, that's one way to deal with a room. I hate this. Oh! Literally any and all damage I take is like horrific and nightmarish. So, would like to avoid all damage, please. You don't see me concentrate too often on Hunter, because I think his skills are like strong even without concentrating them. But occasionally I'll find time to do it. Oh, I should have let him summon his friends for the money. Oh my god! Oh, that would have been bad. I'm gonna do this in the reverse order. Okay, we get her out of the pool now, so now the Spokesman of the Mist is very likely to show up, or the remaining one. We're getting really lucky with the NPCs on this run. I think we're probably gonna find all of them. Unless we get really, really unlucky in Act 4. You're gonna show me that? Man, I'm regretting not taking Mercury Hearts. God, that would be really good on this run. But we also don't have enough crit rate maybe to sustain it. If I had like Thieves Black Steel Daggers, it would be like so sad to pass on that. I think we're gonna defeat the Chimera pretty fucking quick here. Chimera is not a particularly hard boss. What makes Chimera hard is like one of her moves is like the I call it the DVD screensaver attack. Maybe we'll not see it here, which would be wonderful because it is fucking horrifying. I think I'm killing her too fast for her to even get the chance. Yeah. That was a massacre. Still no good Quint offered, unfortunately. Break the legendary for the money. And if we get offered a good curse here, I'm probably going to sell my go-getter. Okay, we didn't. But once again, don't upgrade it beyond where it's at because we want this core quartz. But the core quartz is about to start draining my max HP pretty fucking hard. Now we upgrade our hunter, and now in particular we start scaling Arachna scaling, which is the last really important thing that's worth talking about. And there's not too much to say. Like, these are like, you know, they give you different stats depending on which one you build into. By far the strongest and most important one, and it's not even close, is this one, which is skill cooldown and attack speed. It is very important to get that maxed out on pretty much every Skul run. There are instances where you don't max it out, but they're not really worth going into here today because we're not dealing with that. And it's pretty complicated to talk about, but just know, usually max that shit. It's OP. Who knew casting your skills quicker and faster would be good? When it comes to demon hunters, they are bastards too. I don't have a ton of advice for fighting them. Keep them at a distance. And don't touch that trap. Okay? Don't do it. Now, these are the true bastards. This is my least favorite enemy in the game. The Executioner. And really, once again, keep them at a distance. Their range is just fucking ridiculous. Like, the amount of range their swings on their axes have is just, like, stupid. And, like I said, there's not really a ton of advice I can give you for dealing with it. Just keep them at a distance and kill them quickly. Never underestimate Executioners, man. There's one over here, I think. Or is that a Demon Hunter? It's a Demon Hunter. Never underestimate these guys either. They are fucking assholes. In fact, that's a Dark Elite. We don't like the Penance Dark Elite Executioners. Kill them quickly. The main thing, by the way, the main reason I love Hunter as much as I do is because of how powerful his swap is at Legendary. He has one of the strongest swaps in the entire game at Legendary rarity. I'll try and demonstrate it over here. Just watch how quickly these things melt. The arrows that fall out of the sky are like really good on crit items. And the arrow that shoots forward is really good at dealing with big groups of enemies. And also you drop the stun trap. So it's like, it does 3 incredible things all at once. It's just a phenomenal fucking swap. And you guys know me, or at least if you've been here long enough. I love swapping. Can I please get a flask? No, I can't. Okay, that's cool. Buy the stupid bone pouch instead. Dude, so many bone shards left on the table from that prisoner. Sucks. I got cooked. Unfairly. The game's being mean. Owned. I'll talk about the Act 4 Adventurer when we get closer. To this day, one of the scariest fights in the entire game. I consider it to be scarier than, like, Dark Skull, sometimes. On a run like this, easily could be scarier than Dark Skull. And there's our remaining one, by the way. We're getting our payment for not freeing him at the start of the run. Thankfully, no dupe chance here, because I don't want to dupe. Probably going to get a unique here. I could get a Nat Legendary. Unique. If you find him in Act 4 Part 2, the odds of him giving you a Nat Legendary are, like, huge. But, alas, Act 4 Part 1. But we'll take a unique. That's pretty fucking good. Thank you, Fulgent Dawn. Very kind. Alright, what was the shrine we broke there? I didn't even see it. Oh, another thing that's worth talking about. I should have talked about it earlier. When you open an item chest, if you leave the room without breaking an item and getting the money, it prioritizes right to left, not most valuable. So if you open like a rare chest and a unique is in the middle of the rare items or something, you want to manually break the unique so you get the most amount of money. And to talk about the adventurers here, the adventurers we don't want to see are the warrior. We don't want to see the huntress. We don't want to see... Those are the two big ones. The rookie can be annoying. The ninja can be very annoying, actually, so I'd put him in the first category of we really don't want to see, though he doesn't have a lot of HP. The characters we really want to see are like the mage and the cleric, so... Oh, there she is. Alright, that's pretty good. She can still kill you, though. Don't take her lightly, but she's one of the easier ones, if not the easiest one. Okay, well, we just killed her before she could do anything. And that was a really good demonstration of the power of my fucking wife showing up. Do I even... I'll take her. Probably should have gotten the bone shards, though. But that was a really good demonstration of the power of the hunter swap. I think that's a max skill on that. We really want to get our HP up, too, so let's see if we can start scaling that. And if I didn't say it earlier, I don't think I did. The stats you Arachna scale are damage percent in both directions, both physical and magic. You can get it up by 100. Max HP, and you can get that up by 100, though it'll be less because of our OMEN 2. And skill cooldown attack speed, which is the most important one by a lot. Medusa is not going to be doing damage, but the stun is still extremely useful. So... She just has a way, way higher cooldown. Right now it's 62 seconds, which is not good. I think I probably should have kept Killivan, but whatever. Alright, there she is. The last NPC is the spokesman. We're running out of time to find him. Hopefully he shows up. Max HP from the spokesman would go pretty fucking hard. That would make me smile, I won't lie. God, my nose is so itchy. Also, suddenly we're going in 8,000 rooms. Not that I'm complaining. Just like on the front end of the shop, you know, all the rooms we were going to before were on the back end of shops. Where was this luck earlier? Bitch, I'm not letting you live. I get nothing for killing that, and I'm still doing it. Harubong's not gonna cut it. I don't even know. I guess bone shards are still good. We'll look for bone shards. Oh, and Olive Tree Cudgel, of course, but he ain't showing up. Save our money for the last shop. I'd say this is probably the last room. Very unfortunate that it's a money room. Oh! Iframes on Ninja Swap for the win. All I'm saying. Thank you, Ninja. Also, no, there is another room after this. I guess we did end up getting pretty unlucky in Act 4 when it comes to NPC spawns. It is what it is. I can't complain really much at all about this run. Get out of here. Teleports behind you. We also got unlucky with the room distribution on the back end too. Like, oops, all money rooms, man. Once again, can't really complain too hard, but you can complain a little bit. Nothing wrong with a little, you know, little cry session, little wambulance. Alright, we should deal with this Joan person pretty fucking fast, if I had to take a guess. I don't think she stands much of a chance, personally. Sorry, I wanted to check my microphone settings for a second. I thought I had the horrific idea that maybe I had my mic muted or something. Very terrifying prospect for a second there. Ended up not being true, thankfully. I don't think she stands much of a chance, guys. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But she's going to get to ult because she's awful and I hate her. You're the worst, Joan. I just want you to know that. That's all. I just don't like you very much. No big deal. No Quint that... Ooh, wait. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, we're taking Imp. You might be like, oh, there's Hope Slasher. Oh my god, dude, Hope Slasher. But no, we're taking this Imp. 5-second cooldown. We get to do damage Imp. Like, it's not every 8.3 seconds because there's an internal cooldown on Supernatural, I think. Is there? Let me see. No. Okay, we just have constant, if we want it, like always, 40% damage amp. Huge. Just huge. Now, Melanophobia is an extremely good curse, but it's an increased curse, and it's at the end of the run. You need to kill Dark Elites to get this number up. So we can't do that, and we're just going to pass it. Unfortunately, it showed up at the wrong time. Would have been nice earlier, but we already have really good damage increase anyway. Get a little max HP on top here. Almost 150. That's good enough. But yeah, if I remember to always press shift, we always have this damage application now. And we can also change our pedestal here to wisdom. Yep. And now we have over 1,000 damage in both directions. Pretty fucking huge. Orc is another, like, you could actually make an argument for Orc on a run like this. Well, not really, because, like, if we take one hit, we're dead. But, like, it's a non-damage dealing Quint, and we already have, like, damage amp. So, like, I don't know. Like, it's not the worst on this run, but, like, I still am just firmly against Orc. Like, I just don't care for it. It's a personal preference. Anyway, here's my kit. I'm going to go over the items. If you need to pause the run and we would read what an item does, you may do so. Here I go. And here is the stats. It's Giga, guys. We're firmly within the Giga department. Still losable though, because it's like a one wrong move and I'm dead kind of deal. So I have to be pretty locked in for the endgame gauntlet. And I will be. Obliterated. Alright, so, like I said, I'm going to be locked in for this, because this is not going to be a free win at all. It's going to get pretty gnarly. But, I believe in this run's chances. Just excuse me while I go complete concentration mode. Alright, cool. I mean, we took a little bit there. Not ideal, but we're doing alright. Yeah, he's not having a good time, guys. Oh man, I missed with the swap. That's the difference maker between having to go through this and not having to go through this, is if I hit with like the arrows raining down on him. That sucks. It's just a time waste, I guess. Or I could die here like an idiot, for all I know, but I think we're gonna be alright. Yeah. Though he's not the problem. The problem lies beyond, so... Beating him is good and all, but we got bigger fish to fry. Send me up. I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared of Lil Bone. We still have our reassembly, though, so it's not like... We got a little bit of cushion here, but... It's still scary. And I think I'm probably still taking Manatech Plus, though maybe I'll just have a look. Yeah, I don't know, it's just not that good. This at least gives me more damage. I don't think Sure. This gives us different bones. I really, honestly, I'm going to be real. I don't want to read them. They're stronger versions of what they were. That's all you have to know. But they're still not that strong. We have to activate the bone inscription to activate the items, which I'll try and remember to do. That hit me? Oh, that's not good. Took that big hit there. That's not ideal, but as long as I'm careful here, we should be okay. Normally I'd be giving you advice on how to be good at this fight, but like this run's too scary for me to like not be as locked in as possible. There goes my reassembly. It's a scary ult, but we should be okay. Alright, I'm not going to deal any more damage to him because I want to make sure I don't send him into the Giga ult. Oh, that's not good. Oh no. Oh man, how am I not dead? Oh, oh! I don't know how I didn't die. I feel like I should have died when he like went at me and I didn't dodge, but whatever. I'll take it. Oh, dude, nothing like a good old-fashioned hell run to get the blood pumping. Now that we have our tibia, I think we're gonna be okay. I mean, we could still like, or I could still fuck up and make a wrong move or something. Hope we don't get the pillars here. The pillars would actually be pretty bad, I feel. I might forgo the tibia min-max here and just start killing him. Okay, no pillars. Alright, that went well. We can get our tibia up very consistently thanks to Ninja's incredible movement. So, like, whenever we're out as Ninja, we're just, like, getting our tibia online, which is nice. Very important for this fight to kill him quickly. So, let's see where we're at with our tibia here. Okay, let's go to Ninja. I am flubbing it pretty hard. Just stay calm. Okay, there goes that. Tibia's on. Okay, I think we're good. I was flubbing it pretty hard there at the start. Ooh. We're good, though. We're good. Whew. That was a scary one. I don't want the run where I'm giving advice how to win to be a run where I'll lose, you know? It's embarrassing. I could still lose, though, so let's not get too confident. Ooh, he went like the opposite way. What the fuck? Throwing me curveballs, man. Throwing me fucking curveballs, dude. Trying to kill my ass. Stop trying to win, dude. GG's. God. I mean, I did make it a hell run, so I can't be surprised when the hell run is a hell run. Yeah, dude. That was a very, very, very strong run, but a very, very, very scary run. Definitely not a new player-friendly run. Do not build a run like this if you're trying to learn how to play this game. But if you're confident, give it a try, but it's hard. This is why I still, to this day, think Skul is a very hard game. Like, I see people sometimes be like, oh, it's really easy if you just do this and that and build the same run every time. But, like, you know, if you play, like, Kaboom Bomber runs every fucking time, I guess it's an easy game. But, you know, I try and build as many different kinds of runs as possible. Though I do, you know, tend to rely on crit items pretty heavily. But that's just because it's, like, it's a very easy to build archetype. I go for the complicated and lesser common archetypes whenever I have a build path that makes sense. Oh, and dude, there's a really, really, really important piece of advice I didn't give when it comes to run building that I should have given at the start, and that is never, ever, ever force runs. Don't force. Like if you go into a run and it's like I am going to build a bleed run, and you go through the shops and you're re-rolling and you're re-rolling and you never find a bleed item and you don't like pivot to something else, like of course you're gonna lose because you're trying to force an archetype. When in actuality, the best way to play Skul is just let the RNG build your run for you. If you're playing early on in the run and you found like a Miracle Grail, then you can try and make a bleed run. But even then, it's pretty hard to make a bleed run. But like if you're playing and you see like an invisible knife early and you're playing a Skul that's compatible with crit items, generally speaking, it's just best to go for crit items at that point because it's a really easy to build archetype that is really strong and consistent. But that's a pretty important piece of advice that I should have given at the start. Hopefully, the people who are trying to learn are still here. Either way, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the run. Very, very strong one. Like, super, super strong. I wish I had a better enhanced inscription, but I can't really complain too hard. Like, we got Giga Curses. We got a good Quint. We got a good Quint for the Supernatural at the end. And that's one I didn't even mention as being good. That's maybe the best Quint for Supernatural. Very, very strong. But, yeah, man. Hopefully you guys had fun and learned something. And I won't have to do this again for a while because it is, it's a lot of mental mind flooding, I guess. So, back to usual commentary next run. So that's really all I have to say. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all. And I will see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.